You know, it's so interesting that I've never talked. I never really talked about this before. In the first book, I think. I know I talked about meditation because that's in the very first chapter, and I keep coming back to that. But I've never really talked about the word mantra before. And I know probably you all know what a mantra is, but I'm going to just talk about it in a different way tonight because I think it's really important. And you know, the original word mantra comes from the Sanskrit word meaning the root or syllable sound of the universe itself. So it's the transformational, creative, vibratory sound that in Sanskrit is the science of what the universe is expelling at a vibratory rate. So if that is measured in its sound equivalence, it's sometimes known in Sanskrit as Om, okay? So that would be a mantra that some people do. Now, in Buddhist terms, you know, a mantra could be Om Namah Shivaya, or in, you know, other Sanskrit, you could do Om Namah Shivaya is Hindu, you could do Nam Myoho Renge Kwo. So there's lots of different versions of traditional mantras. Mantra itself, the word man, comes from to think, the mind. And tra means an instrument. So it becomes an instrument of the mind. And the whole thing about using a mantra, people, is to actually use a thought of mind to actually transcend mind. So I'm going to just pull it together in a way that we in our own vernacular can use. Because you can use a mantra in any way. And actually in the book I always talk about it's really the equivalent of neutralizing what happens to us neurologically. So it's just changing a neurological wiring. You know, so what do you do when you don't get the job? What do you say to yourself? What do you say to yourself when you don't get the call back? What do you say to yourself when you do get the call back? You know, what do you say to yourself when you go out on a date with somebody and then they never return your text? Wah, wah. What do you say? So these are, okay, your mantra generally that gets triggered are all the things that I'm always talking about. They're wholly destructive and they come from just a repetitive neurological wiring that you just keep dipping into over and over again. So tonight, I'm just going to give you a few different versions of it. And you probably all have many already in your own life, but I gave this lecture last night and everybody was like, oh, I'm so glad you talked about that because maybe you're not using it as powerfully as you can. So just sit up and close your eyes for 1 second. And I just want you to just think, it's just going to take 1 minute here. It's so simple. But you guys, the interesting thing about everything that I'm teaching is that simplicity is truth. Things want to be simpler for us. And really, what you're using a mantra for is really, it's just a centering thought, a grounding thought, a grounding device. That's it. So when you get triggered in life, you get upset, things don't go your way, your agent doesn't call you back, your agent fires you, you get dropped for the job, you lose your phone, somebody steals your money, whatever, something happens and you get triggered, you find a different way to get into a centered thought. So what if you just close your eyes, just on a daily basis, I'm going to just throw out some here. What if you tried these? How about this, if this became your mantra? Instead of, I suck, I'm a loser, I'm ugly, I'm fat, it's not going to happen for me, I'm too old, I should just give up, I'm going to move back to Milwaukee. How about instead, I am ready for success? Just say that to yourself. That's awesome. How about, the universe is orchestrating the details for me. It's safe for me to let go. I don't have to control everything. Breathe. That's a great mantra. How about, I didn't come up with this, Meister Eckhart did. This is so beautiful. If the only prayer I ever say my entire life is thank you, that will be enough. Oh, just say thank you constantly. Just say that. What a beautiful mantra. If the only prayer you ever say your entire life is thank you, that will be enough. What about I am peace, I am light, I am love? People, the great insight about a mantra is it's all about having peace of mind. If you don't have peace of mind, what do you have? You have nothing. You can have success, you can have fame, you can be a lead on your own series, you can have lots of movies and billions of dollars and the hottest people dating and all the things that we think externally are going to fulfill us. But if you don't have peace of mind, that's a tortured life. How about, my life keeps getting easier and easier and more fun? It does. It can. Almost done here. A couple more. How about this? Everything always works out for the best for me. Doesn't it? It does. Even the stuff that just you went through the shitter, you got to the other side and you realize, like, oh, it all does kind of work out, doesn't it? How about this? Let me be me. So fill in the blank. Let Gina be Gina. Let Izzy be Izzy. Let Sam be Sam. Let me be me. I accept and love myself exactly as I am. That's hard, but you got to do it. And I'm going to end with this one. This is my favorite. This is amazing. I'm in the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing, with the right people, always. I'm going to say it again. I'm in the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing, with the right people, always. I'm in the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing, with the right people, always. I just want you this week, try to find a different grounding, centering mantra for you that really confirms who you are. I want to say one last thing because it came to me last night because I looked over at Robin because, you know, I love Robin. My God, Robin runs a studio of 500 some actors. It's crazy. This is like a university here, how many people she has to deal with. It's amazing. And I just love Robin. And I looked at her last night and it reminded me, because sometimes when we hang out, you can open your eyes now. Sometimes she'll say, like if she messes up, and she very rarely messes up. It's kind of crazy. If you don't know Robin, she runs the entire studio basically. But anyway, so sometimes she'll say to herself out loud, and I'll be there, because she'll just say it. She'll be like, I'm such an asshole. Or, I think that's the big one she does. I'm looking at you, Barbara, but maybe you've heard her say that. I'm such an asshole. And I'm like, don't say that! Very dramatically, I do say it like that. Don't say it! You're not! She's not! Don't say that! You know, the insight about that is, when you say those kind of things to yourself, what do you feel? You feel like something shifts in your system. You know what that shift is? That's showing you that you're out of alignment with that thought. The higher part of who you are doesn't think that way about yourself. The higher part of who you are does not think that about yourself. So you have to stop saying those things to yourself. That's all you got to do. Neurologically, reboot it with something that's better. Like, okay, well that wasn't the best thing in the world I could have done, but I'm still amazing. Because that's truth. That feels good.